climbing faster on a bike is always like a key one. Like what we always know is like power to weight is going to be a key element, isn't it? You know, like the higher your power, the higher your threshold, the faster you're going to go and the lighter you are ultimately. For a lot of people, where they really struggle is cadence change. It's a key part that a lot of, you know, like if you're a pure labourer, you know, like you're fucking grinding the gear like all the time, like consistently, you've got to work on like cadence changes. So if you look at like a World Tour Pro, you know, Pogacar's like a great example, isn't he? He's not only laying the power down ridiculously, but if you look at like how fast he's spinning the gear, he can get on top of it, and then you get the momentum and you'll get the inertia to kind of pull you through.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Everybody climbs like in different ways a lot of the time. Like for me is I can be explosive, you know, like probably like a minute and I can stand up, but generally I have to sit down and I lay the power down, but I always try and keep the cadence up. But what I do see a lot of people making the mistake of, they just grind in the gear and then there's a lot of movement around like the bike itself. Core strength is always going to be a key one with anything like hill climb related. You know, like having a strong core, you're just going to generate the power significantly more than, you know, like if you're like bent over and you've not got a sustainable position really. A good way of training a lot of this is obviously doing like hill repeats. That's you know, it's a good place to kind of bring the training in. It's, you know, like being in the UK, it's quite hard to kind of get climbs that are like 40 minutes an hour long. So for a lot of us, we have to do like hill repeats. And again, you can do those in so many ways. Is like we do a session where you can have like standing drills, seated drills, and then ultimately you change like the cadence and a lot of that. Generally, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I'm, you know, I ride like my time trial bike, my triathlon bike, like how am I meant to climb? It's generally, I always find like the speed when you start dropping below like between like 12 and 14 miles an hour, or you know, like you labour in the gear a lot of the time, then that's when I generally come out of the tri bars and then I'd go on to like the drops. But if it's, you know, like an undulation and you can stay like in the time trial position, providing you can spin the gear up, then I would generally stay in the TT position itself. Your head's generally going to lift, and then what I always try and do is you always want to get in a position on the saddle that you feel like you can, you know, like generate like the power, so the body position can lift up. You want to open up the hips, and then you can generate the power and build like that momentum. And then what you want to be able to do is, and this is where a lot of people lose time, whether you're a time trialist or a road racer, is trying to lay the power over the crest of the hill. So once you get to the top of the climb, you need to be able to lay that speed back up. And then once you get the speed up, then that's when you can have like a recovery. You see it like so many times that someone gets to the top and then they ease off the gas, where ultimately you want to, it's probably like 200-300 meters down the road where you've got that speed back up. But it's just one of those things that you've got to just practice really. But it's definitely something that, you know, like bringing like hill repeats in, bringing strength work in, cadence changes, it'll actually improve like your cycling like overall. So all things to be considered.